What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to, well, another video on my channel, but this is the updated walk around of the STI for 2021. Did a couple things since the last video about this time last year, so I figured might as well make another video to update you guys on what else has been done to the car. So starting out at the front of the car, there really hasn't been a whole lot done to it. No lip, no splitter, nothing like that. Completely stock on the front end. I am thinking about changing the bulbs to either yellow bulbs or wrapping my fog lights yellow to get that yellow JDM look, just because I think that will make it look a little bit better at night, especially when the lights are on. But as far as the front end goes, not really a whole lot done. But from there, we'll take a look under the hood because there are a couple things done to it that I want to show you guys. So moving under the hood here, yes, I know it is a little bit dirty. We do have the Cobb cold air intake with the box, which replaces the stock intake. And then we also do have a Tomei fuel pressure regulator right there. That does help with the performance and also how the vehicle runs. And I have to say, it's not a super big difference, but it is a difference. So that's all we have under the hood for right now. There are a couple things that I do plan to do to the car in the future, but we are focusing on aesthetics and looks for right now, and then we'll go to big power gains in building the motor and all that good stuff. But for now, we're gonna stick to the outside. But that's all there is under the hood. Moving around to the side of the car, we have done a couple things that you might be able to notice from this angle, but we do have raised lightweight lug nuts, and they are locking lug nuts, just because in this area, I have known at least one person with an STI that has had their wheels stolen. So I went the extra mile and got these locking lug nuts, which I know it's not that much more of a preventative measure, but it does add a little bit of a look to it too. Next, we do have the Reali Armor mud flaps, which I have to say this has been one of the best mods for the car, just because it saves the side of the car getting sprayed with dirt, dust, and water in all the wet. At least that's what we've done to it for the side profile. We do have Yellow Speed Racing Dynamic Pro Sport, I believe is the model name, coilovers on the car. We did drop it about probably 1.75 inches to 2 inches all the way around, so it is lowered. But they ride amazing. We did go with stock spring rates, and honestly, I will say that they ride a lot better than the stock suspension. For whatever reason, the stock suspension feels really stiff and not very forgiving, as where this, it's a little bit more of a softer ride, not necessarily bumpy, but not as stiff as the stock suspension on these. Moving around to the rear of the car, you can probably notice that I have an aftermarket exhaust, and this is the NVIDIA R400 titanium tip, or burnt titanium tip exhaust. I honestly love it. It gives it that Subi rumble that you really think of when you think of a Subaru or a Subi, whatever you want to call it. And so that's probably one of my favorite things that I've done to the car, just because it makes it sound so good. I honestly have a hard time deciding on if I want to listen to the radio or if I want to listen to the exhaust of the car. So that's definitely one of my favorite mods. But if you notice, we do have the wing on the car. Funny thing that you may not know, at least about my car and specifically, is this is a limited trim STI. So this came with the low profile spoiler that sat right here on the lower part of the hood, or I guess on the top of the trunk hood, but it didn't have this wing. And this is the ice metallic silver color code from Subaru. And so when I originally bought this car a couple years ago, I worked into the deal having a OEM Subaru trunk with the badges and the wing paint matched and installed on the car when I bought it. And then I ended up taking the old trunk and selling it to my friend Brandon out of Seattle. Shout out Brandon. But that's one of the most noticeable things about this car. To me, when you think of an STI, this is probably one of the most noticeable things about these cars that makes it an STI, in my opinion. And so I had to put it on the car when I got it, and it's honestly an eye catcher. A lot of people like to look at it, and it just makes me really happy, not only because people like it, but because it looks extremely good compared to the low profiles. I will say that in certain applications, the low profile spoilers definitely look better, but for what I'm trying to go for, this is perfect. One other thing that I did shortly after buying the car was I actually upgraded my license plate housing lights from the regular bulbs to LEDs, and it gives it a really clean look, really nice. illuminates the back end and actually shines down onto the ground. So it looks really cool when you're driving at night, and you can see, at least not from my perspective, from other cars, you can see this light on the ground behind the car, which really gives it that cool effect at night, which I really like too. Plus it gives it that nice, clean, crisp look. So I move around to the inside of the car, and this is actually the only mod that I've done to the interior of the car so far. We do have a Cartboy short throw shifter kit installed. I have to say, it makes driving this car extremely fun and almost effortless to shift. It's super short throws. You're probably a ½ inch to a full inch for a full throw, and it honestly is super buttery smooth and just really makes it that much better of an experience when you're driving the car. Oh, and it came with this too, so I guess if you're a Subaru owner, you have to have a vape, right? Just memeing. I really hope you guys enjoyed the walk around video of the car. I know it's not much, but we do have a lot more planned for this year. The main thing probably going to be wheels and get the fitment and everything, the stance of it looking really good and getting that dialed in. Some lower control arms, a couple other things. But we're going to be doing all the installs right here on the channel. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to click that like button. And if you haven't seen my content before and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. And if you made it this far in the video, I'm going to give you a code word to put down in the comment section. And that code word is probably going to be, I don't know, Subi. So if you watch this far, put Subi down in the comments and let me know how you liked it. I know I need to get a little bit better audio and a different mic and camera setup, but that's in the works. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one. But for real though, if you wanted to check out one of those two videos right there on the screen in front of you, feel free. It would really help me out. And again, I just thank you so much and enjoy the content. We'll see you in the next